What's up everyone, it's Mike back again today, MF Vape. Thanks for tuning into the channel and I hope you're all doing very well indeed. Right, today we've got something from Smok. Oh dear, I hear you all say. But no, I've had this one a couple of weeks and it's still not falling apart, so very pleased with it at the moment. It's called the Species Kit. Here it is, I've got the black and red version. So we've got a mod that goes up to 230 watts and we've got the Baby Beast version 2. I thought they'd already done about 20, but that's what it says anyway. So without further ado, we're going to go down low, show the packaging, run through all the features of the mod and show you how to prime the coil, etc. And then we'll come back up top and I'll give you my thoughts on the Smok Species Kit. Okay, see you down low in a bit. Right, down at the table we've got the Smok Species Kit. Now here's the packaging that it comes with. Not going to go into too much detail here, but we've got scratch and check there. Nothing on that side. On the back we've got a warning there. Tells you a little bit about what's inside. So that sleeve just pulls off like so, and then we've got the obligatory black box that you get with Smok products, and it's just a case of shaking it open. So we'll just put that to one side, but inside the package you'll find a little user manual which seriously isn't very detailed at all. It doesn't really give you many specs of the mod or anything, so I'll tell you those in a minute. You've got a little bag here, some O-rings and a little gasket. You've got a quality control card there, usual goings on, and a battery safety card, which is good to see. We've also got your USB charging and firmware update cable there, and you also get a spare coil. We'll have a look at that in a second, and you also get your Baby Beast version 2. Right, so we'll have a look at the tank first. This is the Baby Beast version 2. So on the top we have a mouthpiece which is removable, and apparently you'll be able to buy different colours of versions of these particular mouthpieces or drip tips, and they straddle the actual top of the chimney there, much like the Recall or the Recall Rebel RDA. So that just plugs on like so. We've got top fill on this one, so you just push this little button there and it swivels open, much like most Smok products. And there's your juice filling port, so this is where you fill the liquid, this is where the airflow goes. So to close it up you just push it back and it just locks into place nice and firmly. So this holds 2 millilitres of juice. It's 54 millimetres in height by 25.4 diameter, and it weighs 65 grams. So we've got a little bit of Smok branding on the top there. Nice machining on this one. We've got the red O-ring at the top, the one down the bottom as well. Look on the bottom of the tank, we got designed by Smok and the usual warnings there. We've got a gold-plated 510 pin surrounded by a peak insulator. And we've also got adjustable airflow on this one. So we do have stoppers on both sides, and we've got 3 airflow slots, 1, 2, 3. So if you shut it down a little bit, it'll be the same on the other 2 holes. So to unscrew it, just unscrew it like so. Got the glass piece here. Have a quick look inside of that. It's like got a double walled situation to bring it down to like the TPD 2 milliliter capacity, which really isn't big enough for a tank like this. But quick look at the base now and the coil. See if we can get right in there. So we've got Canthal mesh with this one, and we've also got, I think it's a medical grade, antibacterial grade cotton, which apparently gives you more absorption. But that's what it looks like inside of there. So we've got a really huge bore coil on this one. So just unscrew that a minute. Normal goings on there, so this makes contact with the 510 at the bottom there. So if you're new to using these sort of tanks, you see we've got the juice intakes on the side. So when you first get your coil, it's a good idea to prime up the coil with e-liquid. Make sure you saturate it. Sometimes I just use a medicine pot and leave it sitting in there for a few minutes just to make sure that the cotton's well and truly saturated before you actually start vaping on it. So we'll just have a look at the other coil now. Right, let's see. Right, this one's called the A2. Mini V2 A2, this one. So we've got 0.2 ohms, 70 to 120 watts, best between 85 and 105. So this one is a dual core one. So we've also got the mesh situation going on there as well. And I'll just show you the wattage on the other one. I forgot to show you that one. What have we got? This is called the A1 core, this one. And we've got, can we focus, 0.17 ohms, 90 to 140 watts, best between 110 and 130 watts. So it is a high power device, this one. So you will be going through the battery somewhat if you're using it up those high wattages. So you just screw it back on like so. Fill it up by pushing the top cap open, and then you'll be ready to vape. Right, on to the Species mod then. So I've got it in the black and red version here. We've got the USB charging port there. This is a lock function. We'll show you that in a minute. Large side firing bar here. Nice and clicky. This part at the top doesn't actually fire it, so you have to get used to that. On the back, you see we've got this like carbon fiber effect to look on here with a Species right in. Look on the bottom. This is where you put your batteries in, so just get your fingernail in. It's quite tricky, this one, if you haven't got any nails like me. But there you go, it does eventually come open, and we've got the polarities clearly marked for you in white, which is a really good thumbs up there. So it takes dual 18650s. You'll also see we've got the negative there and the positive there, so we'll just put a couple back in. So negative down, positive down on that one. Push the door, it's on a hinge, and push it forward again, this piece there. So on the top, just give you some dimensions actually. We've got 82.1 in length, we've got 49 width and 30.6 in diameter. So this is sprung mounted, this 510 pin. We've got a very long throw on it, so I've had no dramas putting any atomizers on. So we're just going to check it with the FP by Blitz and TVP. Right, this is a 30mm device, and as you can see there, it fits on there very nicely indeed. Although there is a little bit of beveling going on, so the OCD out there might notice a slight bit of overhang, but to me that fits on there perfectly. Right, so to switch it on then, it's 5 clicks. And there you go, you have to do it not too fast. Right, and then it shows you the Species version 2 there. Right, here's a look at the screen then. Right, so at the moment it's actually locked. You can actually, we'll put an atomizer on it actually. Got no juice in it, but so you can actually fire. When you press the fire, you've got new call. Touch screen here, so you press yes or no. We'll put yes, so just touch that. We go on to here. Right, at the moment you can't actually adjust anything because it automatically puts you into like a lock mode. So in order to access these functions, you have to hold this button down before that lock sign disappears. Put it back on, and then it will come back on. It's locked instantly, so you have to be quite quick with this one. So if you want to adjust the wattage up and down, you just go on the negative there. It goes all the way down to 1 watt. No round robin. This side. Really fast scroll on it, all the way up to 230 watts. And you could also see like we've got the rev style display going on. Right, have a look at the other bits of the screen. So you can use this sub menu here. We'll go into that in a minute. But at the top here, you'll see we've got a couple of battery markers, one for each battery, which is very nice to see. Here you will see whether you've got it in a normal, powerful or soft in wattage mode. This is the puff duration, and we've also got the amount of puffs that you've used on the particular mod. So there's your resistance, and this is the voltage. So just hold down that lock key again. And then we're going to this main screen, so touch that with your finger. And there we've got our 4 choices. So on the top, right, you can set max puffs and stuff like that, so just in case you wanted to limit the amount of puffs you've got, and it also shows you the actual puffs. So press that display again, we go around to the right, press the settings icon. So you can adjust the resistance, you've got a factory reset there, or you can power off from this particular mode. Right, onto the bottom. Right, you can adjust the amount of time that the screen goes on. I believe it goes up to 240 seconds, this one. So if you want it to stay on for a long time, just put it to that. And you can change the display colours as well. So you've got 6 different colours to choose from. The last bit here. Right, and this is when you can select variable wattage or temperature control. So in variable wattage mode, you can select your usual hard, soft, powerful, or hard, soft, normal, or what's that one say? Max. And then you can just press temperature control on this side, and then you can select your materials, titanium, nickel, or stainless steel. And you've also got the temperature TCR, so you can select it for the different types of wire that you've got. So yeah, everything you'd expect from a Smok mod. I don't think the middle bit actually does anything. We'll just confirm that there. So I do believe if you press it 3 times, it will lock it as well. Yeah, fire key locked. So that means that it isn't turned off, but if you want to walk down the road with it in your pocket, you're safe to do so. So to unlock the fire key, press 3 times again. And there it's unlocked and you're ready to vape. So the good thing is, although it takes a little bit of getting used to, because you can't adjust anything while it's got this lock on, once you've got it set, it's quite handy because you know that it isn't going to inadvertently change the settings. So yeah, that's about it for the Smok Species kit. So let's go back up top and I'll tell you what I think about it. Right, back up top with the Smok Species kit with the baby version 2 sitting on top. Now, what are my thoughts for this then? Right, we'll talk about the tank first. This is the Baby Beast version 2 that I've already told you. I thought they've already done about 10 or 20 different incarnations of this, but this one does take mesh coils, and the one that I've got in here at the moment is that wide bore A1 coil. But yes, the first time I've used an actual mesh coil with a Smok tank. Now, I did have the Smok TV TFV8, the what's it called, the Beast, back in the day, and yeah, I used to like those coils, but they didn't last for more than a week or so, so they weren't the best in longevity. But going on to the tank then, so we've got this sleeve style drip tip, which I'm not particularly a fan of. I do believe you might be able to put a 510 fitting drip tip in there, but I just wish they'd just use a normal bog standard goon fitting one with like the O-ring in the top, so you could just put all your preferred tips on there. So yeah, as with all Smok products, they just put the bespoke one on it, and you're really stuck with what you've got. So I don't really like the look of this one, and to be honest, I prefer other ones. But anyway, it's got a really nice top fill mechanism. It's so easy to use and it locks into place, so that is definitely a pro. The machining on it's very well done. Got some nice black on here, or I don't know if it's gunmetal or black, but it's a nice nice finish. We've got the little Smok brand in there, so it's not too in your face. The airflow control is got a nice bit of restriction to it, but you can easily adjust it on the mod, so no problems with that. But going on to the tank capacity, this is 2 millilitres in capacity because it is obviously the EU version. Now, I do believe that the non-EU one, you can get a bubble tank for it to boost the capacity. Not sure what it goes up to. Doesn't say on my spec there. Don't think it's said on the box either. But yeah, I'm sure you could probably get a bigger one if you get it from a Chinese site or something like that. But what about the performance of the coils then? So we'll just give it a little toot now at 110 watts. Right, I had the airflow more or less half open. Let's just put it fully open for you. Boost the wattage up to 130, which is what it says is the optimum, between 110 and 130, I believe. So it keeps up with it. No problems with the wicking or anything with this coil. But as you can see, I've only had about five or six pulls on this, and we're already starting to need to be refilled. So that is one inherent con with a 2 mil capacity tank. So to be honest, I won't carry on using this. I'll carry on using my the Falcon and the Ampex, because that one's got a much bigger capacity. But overall with the actual tank, it's not bad. We got decent flavour from it. It's built pretty well, and as far as I can tell, the coils are lasting not too bad with this. Now I haven't tried the dual coil mesh one yet, but yeah, I thought I'd just leave that one in the package. But yeah, it's just a baby beast. It's nothing special and nothing new, and there are better mesh coil tanks out there. Right, on to the mod then. Now I actually really do quite like this one. Like, I know a lot of people give Smok a lot of stick. Now I've got the GX 350, which I've still got. It's still working very well. That's a 418650 mod, which allegedly goes up to 350 watts. Now I never go above 120 myself, but that one's still going strong. It hasn't fallen apart on me or anything like that, and it hits really well. So this one I've had 2 weeks. I can't guarantee it's not going to fall apart in the 3rd week or anything like that, but I think it's built really well. We got some nice carbon fibre finish. We got a really bright display on it. We've just got some small branding. We got Smok on the front, Species on the back, so it's not too in your face, which I really do like. And I also like this fire button. It's nice and clicky, and it fits in your hand like a glove. Because you do notice it's sort of sloped downwards like that on both sides, but it really is a good form factor in the hand, and I do like it. I've been enjoying taking this one to work. We've also got basically a 30mm diameter that you can fit on the top, so that's always a pro. So centre 510. So there are a number of pros on this device, and I also like the fact that we've got the touch screen. At first I was a little bit miffed that it kept locking itself, but I do understand why. So basically, if you want to change the settings, you just have to press the lock button, and then you can go up and down on the touch screen. But it is very responsive. I've had no issues at all. I know down low I might have been not quite hitting the right mark because I was trying to do it on camera, but yeah, really no problems with it. I like the menu layout. It's not too clunky. It's quite user friendly, so you can easily press it and then it just brings you back to the main screen. You can turn the screen off by just pressing that button if you want, and it will still fire, which is something I forgot to tell you down below. But yeah, I just think it's built really well, and it's just overall a really good piece of kit up till now. But let's just give it a little comparison though for the wattage, because it does say it goes up to 230 watts. And to be honest, if you're using 18650s, I wouldn't like to go above 150 watts myself personally, because it depends what batteries you're using. But I would advise using the Sony VCT5A, which have got between the 23 and 25 amp continuous discharge rating, because if you are going to be pushing them like over 150 watts, you are going to degrade the battery, and you'll basically find that it won't last as long for a start, and you won't be getting 200 watts if you keep on doing it at that sort of wattage. But between like 100 and 130, I've got a couple of Samsung 30Qs in here, and I wouldn't like to push them any harder because they're only rated between 15 and 20 amps per battery. But we'll just give it a little tester, 130 watts on this, and then we'll put it on my DNA drone, which has got a DNA 250 chip in it. Right, so here we are then, the Species first, 130 watts. You get some really good clouds from this particular tank, and the flavour is really good on it. It's not bad at all. But anyway, let's put it on the drone now. Now I haven't got any oscilloscopes or any testing equipment like that, so if you want a detailed review of the chip and everything like that, I suggest watching Daniel DJ LSB Vapes if you want some of that. But anyway, 130 on the drone. Here we go. That's definitely hitting a little bit harder. I would say at least 10% harder that one feels to me, which is what I would expect as well, because the drone, it's got 166 watts limit, which is a bit more sensible for a dual battery mod. This 230 watts, so I can guarantee you that it won't be hitting the 230. But the way I've been rocking it between 100 and 130 watts, it's ample good enough for one of these tanks. And when I'm using my RTAs, I'm usually around 60 to 90 watts. And to be honest, I don't really notice the difference between that and the drone at those sort of wattages. So yeah, all in all with this device, I paid £15. It was on a special offer with Vape Around magazine. So for that money, it's an absolute steal. Now, I think the recommended retail price is something like £60 or £70. So what do I think if I had to pay that sort of money for it? Would I actually go out and buy it? To be honest, I think it's a little bit overpriced. So I'd be happy if it was around £50 maximum. But it is a decent bit of kit. But the thing is with Smok, you never know whether it's going to last 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, or a couple of years, or 2 days even. You do hear all these horror stories with Smok products. But I've been testing it for 2 weeks. I've had no dramas at all with it. And I think it's a pretty tidy little kit. So if you can find a bargain for it, I would definitely give it a thumbs up. But for £70, I probably wouldn't go out and buy it. Okay, if you did enjoy the review, guys, please give it a little thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, why not consider subscribing too, because we've got lots more on the channel for you to have a look at. And make sure you hit the little bell notification to be notified of all my latest videos. Now, I've got my own website too. It's mfvape.co.uk, and you can find me on the usual social media platforms. We've got Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Okay, cheers.